Okay, so I guess this next video is going to be about the age of truth on YouTube. And pretty much me saying that the age of truth on YouTube may be coming to a bit of a close. I mean, maybe that's a little bit, exaggerated, but hear me out here. So, in the last, this isn't actually a new phenomenon. This has been going on, I think, for a couple of years, since 2016, maybe probably not 2015, but since 2016, there's sometimes been these major channels that have just like up and deleted all of their videos. The first one that I can think of is a guy named Lex Will. And this guy, he has a lot of doctrine that I don't agree with. He basically says, like, Israel was in the Americas, and, I don't have a time machine, I'm not God, but I don't really think that's true. But even though he has some stuff I don't agree with, he does have a lot of interesting ideas and thoughts, and his videos contained a lot of good information and a lot of stories on various sorts of ancient histories and accounts and mythologies. And as we're discovering, a lot of that kind of stuff is more real than the histories that they teach us. Well, anyway, one day, I don't know, in 2016 or 17, he decided to delete all of his videos. And he has videos back up, but all of his really old stuff, he just decided to completely dump it. And that's kind of weird. And then there was another guy named Manny Skywatch, who he had a conspiracy theory channel for like 10 years or whatever. And he still has videos up there, but he pretty much did the same thing. Now with him, it's a little more believable because with him, Manny, he basically discovered that, the whole pharaonic bloodline thing and the whole tranny thing. And he discovered that it was really these creatures and not like the aliens that he thought it was. So I could kind of understand the reason for him wanting to delete all of his old stuff. But even then, after he discovered that it was really these, tranny tears, he made some videos and he kind of deleted them. And he's got some more videos up. But, sometimes he deletes a lot of his videos. And yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a very interesting thing, ain't it? And, there's a guy called Baptized the Scribe. And, he deleted, his videos. And some of this, with Baptized the Scribe, I think, some of it may be people getting flagged, right? People having their channels flagged. And because of their channels getting flagged, they have to pretty much bounce, right? Some of it is that, yeah. But some of it, I just think it's the age of truth on YouTube being done for, being, destroyed. And YouTube was a pretty amazing website when you really think about it. Like, any normal person could just post videos of whatever they wanted, as long as it wasn't like porn or whatever. Technically speaking. You could probably find some really close to porn stuff on YouTube, I'm sure, if you really wanted to. But, technically speaking. Oh man, fucking diaper on the street. It's gross, dude. Anyway, you could, there was more truth on YouTube than like just anywhere else. I mean, you could find YouTube was like a college or something, or like what a college is supposed to be. Maybe not what a college is, but maybe what a college is supposed to be. I mean, the information that you could find about, you know, just the real truth of this world that was on YouTube was totally unprecedented. I mean, just so many different ideas. I mean, it's a wonder for someone like me. I'm rather obsessed with YouTube, perhaps to a fault. But, most of that obsession is trying to study for like knowledge and things of that nature. That's what most of it is. And the amount of information that someone like me took in from YouTube, they just wouldn't have been able to do it at any other time in history. Like, sometimes I think, like, if I was born, 10 or whatever, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, how much would I have been able to figure out, assuming I didn't, get myself cloned? How much of this, like, conspiracy theory thing would I have been able to figure out? And, it's pretty interesting. I think I could have figured out a lot. The whole tranny stuff, I don't know about that. That would have been a really difficult one to scratch. But, as far as, some people being... As far as some people being, like, demons and, fallen angels, I probably could have gathered that eventually. The whole tranny stuff, that may have been a little bit, much. I mean, I don't know how I would have figured that out unless, I just would have made a habit of poring over Hollywood movies and fiction works, and maybe they would have secretly told me there, and so maybe I kind of would have figured it out from there, but that's kind of a stretch. I don't know, the tranny part, that's a little tough, because they're not like, bad-looking trannies, they're like convincing trannies, so being able to figure that out, that might have been tough. But outside of that, I kind of think, I could have put together here and there, but it might have taken me, what I have put together in like a little over 3 years. I don't know, it probably would have been like decades, but it probably would have been like decades putting all that together, but who knows. Anyhow, it probably would have been like decades putting all that together, on my own. And, what I've done in 3 years may have taken 3 decades because of, YouTube, right? And it's really because of YouTube. It's really because of YouTube that I'm able to go as far as I've gone in the time that I've done it. And so, a lot more people now. So, anyhow, a lot of that just seems to be kind of coming to a close, kind of stopping and starting just based off of all these cars that are around me now. But, a lot of that seems to be coming to a close, a lot of very good channels are, quote unquote being flagged. But, how much of that is real and how much of that is them, you know, personally getting flagged because basically a decision is being made that, it's, the time is up. The time for, certain people to have easy access to knowledge is coming to a close, And, Baruch Shai did it. He had a really good channel. He wasn't as evil sounding as Yahweh Rules. So he was the one who actually put me on the cloning tip, you know what I mean? And, it was him. And Baruch Shai, he's gone now. TR, she's gone. Demon Master, he deleted a lot of his old stuff. And now he's talking like he's not really going to be doing too many videos. And right now, Demon Master is pretty much the only one who, I listen to, and I feel like, I could probably learn a thing or two from watching his videos. Other people, they don't really, dig in to the mysteries of, heaven and earth, and everything else quite like he does right now. And, if he stops doing videos, I'm pretty much on my own. There's really, no one else out there who's really, trying to, really hit the nail on the head like it should be. And, like I said, it just kind of feels like the era of truth and information on YouTube is coming to a close. Especially for these tear who have these truth channels. Now, if you're a real human like me and you got a truth channel, God might not allow you to get strikes. Unless you're doing something crazy. But, for these tear, the word may be being put out, like all the truth that you've put out to humans over the last couple of years, and they didn't really do anything with it, so you know what, shut it down. And pretty soon it's gonna be like the only thing you see on YouTube is like cat videos, you know what I mean? Because most of the people are tear on YouTube anyway. So if you're a real human, you're probably okay, especially if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're trying to teach and whatever. But if you're, a tear, the word may be being put out, like, shut these channels down. You know what I mean? So, it's just really interesting what's going on, what's happening here. And, I'm not exactly going to say the sky is falling, but there was a period in time with YouTube where you, as a human, you could have learned the mysteries of heaven and earth to a degree that maybe only the prophets of the Bible would have known, and maybe even to a degree more so than them, depending on who they were. Probably not more so than someone like Enoch, but depending on who said prophets were, you may have known the mysteries of heaven and earth more than almost any other human who walked the earth, if you had just bothered to care, you know what I mean? And that era is rapidly coming to a close, it seems. in my opinion, the way you know it's really done is if Yahweh Rules takes down his channel. Because, like, I'll still look at Yahweh Rules' stuff and see if there's maybe something that I'm forgetting. Like, Yahweh Rules once had this video about robotoids, and he did, like, robotoids for every ethnic group or whatever. And he once said something real slick in one of his robotoid videos, and I think he had to take it down because he maybe said too much. And, you know, I'm not really gonna, you know, repeat it, what he said, or what the video was. I mean, if you type in robotoids, you know, you might be able to guess which video of his is missing. And as far as what he said in it, you know, if you're a real human, and I see that you're a real human, and you ask me what it is, I'll tell you. But, you know, I'm not just gonna say it now, because people might say that I'm, you know, causing division or whatever, so I'm not really gonna do that. But, yeah, anyhow, oh yeah, when Yahweh Rules takes his stuff down, that means it's like, you know, we're coming into some weird times. When Yahweh Rules takes his stuff down, I think we're probably coming up on, like, you being able to see, you know, the book of Revelations outside your window and not too far from that. And, you know, how close are we to that now? I mean, who really knows? I mean, a lot of people, you know, are talking about this, like, 1619 400-year prophecy thing, and maybe there's something to it, you know, or maybe there isn't, you know. I don't really know. Like, I can only know so much. One thing I do think, though, you know, the whole 1619 thing, you know, God's calendar goes by 364 days, and the regular calendar goes by 365 days, except on a leap year, where it's 366. But, you know, if you're going by, God's calendar, that 400 years may be coming up in 2018 and not 2019. So, I don't know, that's just something to think about. You know, what calendar are we on? What are we going by? You know, maybe some people are expecting 2019. Maybe it's really 2018. Or who really knows? I mean, I've mostly given up on trying to decipher end-time prophecies because it just seems too much, too confusing. There's a sense of satisfaction with being able to have figured out the cloning and the wheat and the tares and, you know, who's really making the world so crap. That, you know, now that I figured that out, I kind of just figure, you know, the whole wheat and tares thing, it just kind of, you know, it just kind of is what it is, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. But yeah, you know, you got Demon Boy bowing out, maybe, Baruch Shai bowing out, Yash Kara was another one. Yash Kara got me into the truth. Well, I mean, really, Christ did. But, Yash Kara's videos really helped me along for a long time. And now it seems like he's gone. He's not here anymore. So, with him being gone, I mean, it pretty much ran off of YouTube. I mean, Russian Vids is another one. Dave Johnson, Dave J, he's another one. You got all these, really great, you know, well, I won't say really great, but you had all these, really insightful YouTubers they're no longer here anymore. They've pretty much been driven away. Or they've deleted their channels because they were told to, basically, or whatever. And, you know, it's like, you know, all of these truth tellers who were telling a lot of truth, they're just, they're slowly bowing out of YouTube. And, you know, is that a sign? I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But, you know, certainly something interesting to think about. And, you know, we'll see where this leads, you know what I mean? We'll see where it leads. Well, anyway, I think that's about it for me, for this video anyway. And I will see you guys later. You probably can't read that. It says Genesis Medical Spa, Savannah. But, you know, whatever. Well, peace out.